Good morning.
Good morning.
If you don't mind, can I test the audio level one more time?
Sure, no problem.
That's better, and I'll make it even a little bit louder. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will mute now.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you, yes.
Okay. Oh boy.
Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Chairman, we can proceed.
Okay. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you. Be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located at the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Ms. Aston?
You want to do the roll first? Can we do roll call first, Mr. Chairman?
Sure, we can. Go right ahead.
Mr. Maskey,
Here.
Mr. Bradley,
Here.
Mr. Dink,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Have a quorum.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I can confirm that we are live streaming.
Thank you, Maurice. Mr. Chairman, as we do each time, the city objects to the use of the chat function based upon the rules promulgated by the Ohio Supreme Court at the beginning of the pandemic. That if we were meeting live, everybody in this room 514, we would not be having side chats. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we are now in session. We'll begin with docket A 140-22, 727 East 99th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on September 8th of 2022. Appeal received September 29th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Jeffrey Badley, and I am a member of Boardwalk Glenville LP.
Okay, is that the only one given in testimony?
Yes, I'll be the only person appearing on behalf of the appellant.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed, Mr. Badley.
Thank you. Good morning. And I'm glad to have the opportunity, although perhaps under less than optimal conditions, to advise the board of the work that we are doing. The Boardwalk Glenville Limited Partnership acquired this property in July of 2022. This property, the property located on East 99th Street, is one of 20 buildings that we acquired that were formerly operated as the Boardwalk Apartments and the Glenville Apartments. Included in those buildings are 173 apartment units, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. We acquired these properties using low-income housing funding from the Department of Housing and Urban Development and low-income housing tax credits. This renovation that we intend to do consists of $11 million in hard construction costs, roughly $64,000 per unit. As each building is renovated, HUD will inspect those buildings to ensure that we have done the work that we plan to do. We plan to put on new roofs, new windows, new exterior doors, both on the building itself and on each residential door, new flooring, new appliances, new wiring, new bathroom flooring, tubs and sinks, update the mechanical systems, and update and replace the electrical systems as necessary. We believe that this will bring these buildings to the standard that is demanded by HUD of decent, safe, and sanitary. We anticipate that this renovation process will take slightly over a year. We have in fact begun the renovation project, which is to proceed in 10 phases altogether. 727 East 99th Street is phase number 4 of that 10-phase project. The work on phase number 4 is scheduled to begin in March of 2023, and we hope to complete that work in April. To do the work, we must first relocate the residents, then renovate the apartments, then have the apartments inspected, and then have the residents move back in. We have gone through one phase and it has gone smoothly. We're confident that the rest of the phases will go smoothly, but we're going to need additional time to complete these renovations. That is all that I have to say on this. I'm happy to take questions, but I think that completes our presentation.
Okay, very good. Let's see, we want to go over to Mr. Murray. We're not hearing you, Mr. Murray. You're muted. Okay. Okay, there you go. Start over.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know about all the other properties that they purchased, but this is the one that's been cited. The work that he described, windows, roofing, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, will require permits. I would like to see this permitted sooner rather than later. And then we would like to be sure that there's going to be interconnected smoke detectors in this property, and that would be indicated in their construction documents for the permit they're submitting. But I don't know, 2023, sometime in the future. This one seems to be the outstanding problem. I don't know what condition the other ones are in, but this is the one on the table in front of us right now. And I'd like to see permits pulled.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Patricia McGinty, on behalf of the city of Cleveland, we'd like these smoke detectors, 20 properties, as Mr. Murray indicated on behalf of the city. This is the one cited before the board, and although we understand they have to meet HUD standards and they have phases, this citation, we believe, should bump this property, and it is unreasonable to wait until March to actually even start doing work, what we're hearing correctly from appellant. If that is their indication and that is their timeline they presented to the board, we'd ask that you uphold, deny, and remand this matter and send it back to the city. It does not stop them from proceeding with the work, but it should be done more quickly. Thank you.
It doesn't stop them with proceeding with the application for permits.
Thank you.
The work that they're initially cited for doesn't necessarily rise to needing a permit, but the work that they plan to do does. So I don't know why that application couldn't be made fairly soon.
All right, well, let's talk to Mr. Baddeley and see what he has to say.
Thank you. As to the smoke detectors, I understand the concern. I will talk with the contractor to see whether that can be done, if you will, out of phase. That strikes me as something that's an entirely fair and reasonable request. Is there somebody in particular that I should get back to once I've had those conversations?
Mr. Murray?
I would reach out to the inspector on the citation
Okay, very, very good.
You're gonna reach out to Eddie Sugar, who's his chief. Your inspector is no longer here.
Okay. We will do that. And there's no question that if we do not have permits at this time, we will have them before we begin the rest of the renovations. So that's not an issue for us at all.
Just so that I understand too, when you talked about the 10 phases, but was that number 4 phase that you were talking about? Is that the one that's dealing with the violations?
That is correct. And that would, the work in phase 4 is scheduled to begin in March and should take roughly a month to complete.
Okay, and I don't understand why it's taking you to March to begin it.
Because we are doing this in phases covering the 20 buildings that we acquired. And this is currently scheduled to be phase number 4.
Okay, but the problem is that this is the one that's been cited though. And,
Understood.
okay. And if you sent something into the city, you know, which would have the permits with it and what your plans are, that would go a long way into getting you the time you need to do this.
Thank you. I understand. We will expedite the process of getting the permits so that you'll see that the work is scheduled and proceeding.
Okay, let me see if the other board members have any comments.
Mr. Chairman, I concur with the city. I think this work needs to be expedited. And if permits are not pulled immediately, I think we should deny and remand.
Okay, well, it sounded like he's willing to pull the permits. So if that's the case, if they're willing to get started, pull the permits and let the city know exactly what the plans are. I don't see any reason why we can't give them some time to do that. But if they don't, then I think that at that point we can remand it back to the city if they fail to secure the permits. Mr. Dank, you have a comment?
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Badley, were there permits pulled for the phase 1 portion of the project and only that portion?
I apologize that I don't know the answer to that. I'm happy to get back to the board. I do know that the work that we have begun has been permitted, and I'm sorry that I have not been in enough contact with the contractor to know the answer to have we pulled permits for all of the properties.
Okay, it's fine. It's not totally relevant. It's just, in my experience, it seems a project of this size, you would get a single permit to cover all the work seems to be the typical approach, but regardless.
Okay, Mr. Bradley?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a comment on this one?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. Well, we can do the,
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman?
go ahead.
To Mr. Dank's comment, because these are all separate lots, separate properties, they will each require a separate permit. And the city would ask that they begin the application process within 30 days.
Okay. All right, so that's what we're asking for Mr. Badley to, within 30 days, that would be December 9th, 2022, that you would obtain all the permits necessary to abate this, the violation.
December, I'm sorry, what
Okay.
date?
It's December 9th, okay, would be 30 days, 2022, to make sure that everything is pulled to abate the violations.
Mr. Chairman? Are you gonna give an abatement date as well, or just the permit date?
I think we're just gonna do the permit date, and also in the motion, that failure to meet this, the property would then be remanded back to the city for any further action. Motion is in order.
So move.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Bradley, second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is A 11822, 1611 Clark Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and stop work order issued on July 25th of 2022. Appeal statement received August 23rd of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearings, Lynn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Godinez, and I'll be representing Marron, Mr. Marron.
Okay. Ms. Godinez?
Yes,
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans
Mr.
are.
Chairman, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, this is Patty on behalf of the city. This one was continued to today because there was no agency letter authorizing this matter before the board. I would ask Mr. Chairman and Ms. Davis if the board received such authorization letter and who this person is making an appearance on behalf of the person who was here 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well, we'll go back,
To the chairman,
Is it
to
Ms.
Ms.
Davis?
Aston.
Go ahead.
As of today, the board still has not received any letter correspondence of this person here today. I sent numerous emails to the owner listed, asking them to submit a management agreement or attorney information for them to present today in front of the board.
Mr. Chairman, based upon that statement and testimony to the board, this matter is not properly before this board. We ask that you immediately dismiss it and remand it to the city of Cleveland. There is no authority letter provided to this board as this board requires to hear this matter. It should
Okay,
not be.
okay, Mr. Murray, you have your hand up.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, a permit has been applied for on 10/27/2022. And the exterior of the building has been cleaned up per report by our inspectors, but the permit has been applied for. So,
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, they are proceeding administratively, but that is a separate and distinct issue from this board's authority to hear this matter, which mandates that they have a letter of authority from the owner of the property that they can proceed as an agency person to this board. So the
Okay.
city, you can overrule our request, but it's basically jurisdictional. They have not provided you with the information required. According to Ms. Davis's testimony, the board asked them numerous times and they are refusing to provide such information. We asked
Okay,
you-
so we're gonna go back to Ms. Godinez and see what kind of answer she has for that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why he hasn't sent any letter to me to represent him at all. I've told him multiple times. I really apologize for that.
Mr.
I don't
Chairman,
know if I can-
Ms. Martinez, are you a lawyer?
I'm sorry? No,
Are
I'm
you-
not.
Okay, so you're another agent for someone who still didn't provide an agency letter. We would ask that you dismiss this matter. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
If you adopt it in 2 weeks, or in December, they actually will have 4 weeks until December. If they come in with it before the adoption in December, they can proceed, but this is a delay tactic, Mr. Chairman. We ask that you dismiss it.
okay, any other comments by board members? I tend to agree.
I concur. I believe we should remand this.
I feel the
We
same.
can- Okay, well, if we do a remand on it, then that'll do the same, I think the same thing that what you're looking for, Ms. Aston.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is And I guess the way to do it is to get permission, but a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey.
Second,
Okay, second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, next docket. A 13122, 12218 Leila Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance and no permit. Issued on September 2nd of 2022. Appeal statement received September 13th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. This is Michelle Mazaya. I'm the registered agent for CFM Property Management.
Okay, Ms. Messiah, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
This was a property that we had rented. It was in good condition when the tenants took over. When the tenants realized they were losing the property, they literally tore the property to shreds. They left the property. I believe they called the building inspector to inspect it to say it's uninhabitable. When we retained the property, there was garbage everywhere. We asked for an extension of time to make the repairs, but are having a hard time finding a contractor that would work on such a small job to pull the permits. We did secure one who actually absconded with the money and blocked us. So we're respectfully requesting another 2 months to secure a contractor to work on these repairs and to pull the permits to continue to work on the house.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Starting the permit application process is completely independent of having a contractor selected. So the city would ask that you apply for the permits within 30 days. And in this case, it looks like there's at the very least plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and a building permit required. So we would ask that they start the application process.
Sure, we were told we needed a licensed contractor due to the fact that the house is under an LLC. And that's what we're having a hard time finding, that they don't want to take on a small project.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, the permit can be applied for by anybody.
Okay.
And it can only be pulled by a licensed contractor.
Thank you for clarifying that for me. I was unaware of that.
Okay, so what we're going to ask for is that within 30 days, you do apply for the permits. And you're saying that you feel that within 2 months, 3 months, say we give you 3 months to abate the violations. This will give you time to pick up a contractor and to go ahead and get rid of the violations.
Correct. I believe that's a reasonable time frame, just based on what we've been reaching out to the contractors in the area already.
Okay, so we'll give you to December 9th. That's 30 days, 2022,
Sure.
to pull the permits.
Okay.
And let's see, till February 9th, 2023, to abate the violations.
Thank you very much.
Motion's in order.
So move.
Second,
Okay, we got a motion and second. You call the roll.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you will get a notice within 2 weeks of the motion. Okay,
Thank you very much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, so we got next docket. Next docket is A 13322, 4525 East 143rd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance, issued August 24th of 2022. Appeal statement received September 21st of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty. If you would swear in Mr. Murray, I will inquire as to service.
Sure. Mr. Murray, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Ms. Davis, did notice of today's public WebEx hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
To Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Aston, no.
Thank you. And did you receive any communication on behalf of this appellant or this docket? Email, voicemail, fax, etc.
Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Aston, no.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Due process notice having been given to the appellant, the city believes it's the proper procedure to proceed on this matter. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, this complaint came in from council and unfortunately, it's a group of townhouses. This one's got holes through the soffits. We can't tell from the owner, we can't tell from our documentation if the property is owner occupied or if it's being used as a rental. There's some confusion on that matter, and we don't know if the owner is a senior or not, which would impact how we would try to address this. So right now, we really don't know anything other than the building is really in pretty bad shape and it's dragging the rest of the buildings down with it.
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the city, based upon this, and the hearing notice was asked to be mailed to an address on Avon Avenue, which I believe the public records indicate is under the same ownership as this property before the board. We would ask that you uphold, deny, and remand, and if the appellant contacts the board within the next 2 weeks, or the next actually month, they could be heard under the December docket. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna deny any more time, and the motion is in order to remand the property at this time back to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion? Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, the notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Next docket. A 13422, 3323 West 123rd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is lead, issued August 12th of 2022. Appeal statement received September 18th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Greg Meng.
Okay, Mr. Ming, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Yes, I had my lead inspection in December, and I had a few places on the outside of the house that needed to be painted and repaired. And because of the winter, I got a late start on it and trying to get contractors over there to do the work. By the time they did get started, I ran late. I just needed some more time. I feel it's completed now, and I would just like to have the inspection finished without re-inspecting the whole entire house, inside and out. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, this is Patty on behalf of the city to appellant. You received a winter deferment, but so the interior of your property passed lead inspection, is that correct?
Yes, it was done and it passed. I just didn't want.
And okay, and did you have the same lead certification person come out for the exterior?
Yes, but I didn't have him I didn't have him inspected because he wanted to charge me again because my original permit had expired. So that's why I'm.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, who are you going to have inspected then to pass certification for under the lead safe certification process?
Oh boy, I'm not sure of his name.
So, but it is a certified under Ohio license.
Yes, he
Okay.
is. He is certified. Yes.
And when are you going to have that done? What is your timeline for that so that you can submit it to the department? Because it has to go to the building and housing as well as health.
I can call him this week, and as soon as he comes out and inspects it, he can send it in. I don't know how long that takes, but I can call him today and have him come out.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant,
Go ahead, Mr. Murray.
is the property currently occupied?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, has your contractor finished the exterior painting work that you started last December?
The painting, well, I'd have to go over there and check today, but I would say he's like 95% complete, yes.
But Mr. Chairman, I would ask to uphold, deny, remand.
And the reasoning on that is because it sounds like he's claiming that he's just about done. He just needs to turn in that report for the outside, and he's claiming that he's there basically.
Mr. Chair, this is Patty. He's actually testifying to this board that he does not know if it's completed. He does not have a firm timeline, and he's uncertain as to when it can be inspected by his own person to present to the city as required under the lead safe certification, an important code section that was adopted in 2018-2019 for safety of renters, and he testified that it is occupied. Based upon the testimony of appellant himself, we would ask that you uphold, deny, or remand.
Okay, we can do that. We can deny any more time and remand it back to the city, and it just means that you still have to do what you're saying you're going to do, Mr. Mang, and it's just that they'll be over it and watch and make sure everything does get done. So a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property back to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Moved by Mr. Bradley. Second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maskey,
Yeah.
Mr. Bradley,
What?
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll receive notice within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, next docket is A 13922 3155 West 84th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on August 22nd of 22. Appeal statement received September 20th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aspen, Law. Would the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Steve Taylor with Sandstone Realty. I'm representing the owner. He is also here on the call.
Okay, and that is Mr. Souza?
Yes, Brent.
Okay. Okay, solemnly swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if the owner is going to be given testimony, he has to also acknowledge. Is he on the
Yes, sir.
call? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm
all
here.
right.
This is Brent Souza. Yes, I acknowledge.
Okay, all right, we'll proceed, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, we have the list of repairs that you want us to do. We are very happy to do them. We're almost complete with them. We just have a few more things to do. The only concern that we have is that we've been asked to pull a permit for plumbing work. We really don't know what plumbing work, because we, since Brent has bought the property, there has been no plumbing work done. And so I don't know how a plumber could pull a permit for work that we didn't do. We do have, I'm sorry.
Unless you found a violation with what is in there. I don't know. I mean, I'll get back to Mr. Murray on that, but go ahead and finish up.
So all the other work will be done within 2 weeks. We finished up the painting. I want to stop just to make sure that everything is good. We're working on boxing in all the plumbing in the closet today. So everything else will be done within 2 weeks. The only concern we have is the plumbing issue of pulling a permit, because we don't know what to pull it for. And Mr. Susie, when he bought the property, he has an inspection that shows that, you know, the way we got it is the way it is. So we haven't made any alterations to the property.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, our records indicate that the citation says it does need permits. And I'm not sure about a building permit, but it at least needs an electrical and a plumbing permit based on the violations and even based on some of the photos I see. And Mr. Chairman, to the appellant's representative, even if your applicant purchased the building, there's work that has happened without permits. And the way to get that work inspected is to pull a permit. Even if it's pre-existing work, but if it happened without a permit, we have no idea how it was installed. And if you cover it up, we certainly will have no idea if it was installed to code or if it's compliant. So even though you guys didn't do any work in those specific areas, the violation and the inspectors have seen things that concern them, and that's why they would like to have you pull the permit so that we can look at it and be sure that it's done in a safe manner.
Okay, so we're gonna give you some time to get those permits pulled, and you can talk to the inspector about, he probably would come out there and take a look at this. But
the inspector has been out there and looked at the property. Can we get an idea of what we need? You know, plumbing is a pretty vague idea of a permit. If I knew what you wanted a permit on, we'd be happy to try to accommodate, but we don't know, you know, just the word plumbing permit is pretty vague for the property. We'd like to accommodate, we don't know what to do. So it'd be, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the city, you can contact the inspector listed on the violation notice, Inspector Derrick, with both phone number and email. And the testimony they gave themselves was they were going to close up, box in some plumbing. So Ms. Derrick would be able to specify what she saw. But the permit does, if application for a permit, they can even make it as pre-existing work, and the city's inspector would check on it. But if he wants clarity, Ms. Derrick is the one to get that from.
okay, and so yeah, that would be your best bet, is to call him. We'll give you time to do that, and it may be that he just has to inspect before it gets boxed in, or what is there. And then you'll have an idea after talking to him. So we'll give you 2 weeks to November 23rd, 2022 to obtain the permits that are necessary. And you're feeling that it probably wouldn't take you very long to complete the work, whatever needs to be done, I'm assuming. So we'll give you 2 months, January 9, 60 days, 2023 to abate the violations, whatever they may be. Motion?
All right, thank you, sir.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Maschke,
Second.
second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yeah.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you'll be given notice within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next docket is A 14122, 1278 West 65th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued September 2nd of 2022.
Yeah. Hold on, Kevin.
Appeal statement received September 21st of 2022. Requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Aston Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Joe Biasiota.
Okay, I'm not sure I caught the last name, but yes, Yuka.
Biasiota.
B. Asioka. Okay.
These. Yes, my pictures. Yes.
Okay. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. What's your plans?
The reason, we are asking for more time because I understand that they send the notice, but I did not get it until like 2 weeks prior to the due date of 10/2. Probably because it's an estate, and it's my mother-in-law. He stated that she's 89 years old. And when I got the notice, we act on it right away. And we have done quite a bit of stuff, except the garage, which I have applied for a permit. But the exterior, we have replaced, that's for the garage. We have replaced the T11 that was deteriorated. We have painted the windows. We have blocked some of the windows that were without the screen, and we repaired the motor. We repaired the motor on the driveway windows and the driveway side where it was cracked and stuff. So we did the roof on the part of the building in the back, replaced it with, we took it apart and replaced it with new plywood, new roofing, and we have replaced all the T11 that was bad. We are waiting for a contractor which sent us a list actually just yesterday to cap the soffits. So we are proceeding with the work as fast as we can. As you guys probably know, the contractors, we're begging them because I wanted to have a lot of it done by today, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. He said that he's gonna come over and cap the T11 and the soffits next week because we'll have a list that he gave us for the material. And then for the garage, it's been cleaned all around. Everything has been removed so that we can proceed with the wall that needs to be fixed. And I just got the application for the permit for the garage. Speaking with Ms. Derrick, told me that, I needed, and then I read the letter, of course, and I saw that we need the permit for the garage. So I got the application and they want a little bit of design, which we're gonna do and apply for the permit this week.
How much time do you think you need to complete the violations?
I think the hardest, I would say, would be the garage now. I know that we've had good weather and that's why we've been working on it really well. We've been doing stuff. The garage, I really can't say 2 months, a month, 6 weeks. If I can I had a contractor, and it may sound, he fell off another garage and he broke 4 ribs. And it would have been done. It would have been done, but he's got to wait now. Then he gave us the estimate and we liked it and we give him the okay. And so I think a couple months.
Okay.
I never had any of this experience, so I don't know what to ask for. I'm very honest. The rest will be done.
Let me get over to Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, there is a rental registration on this property, so, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, is a tenant living there right now?
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like the focus on the main structure is logical and makes sense and progressing, and it seems like the garage at this point is not a hazard to the tenant living there, or at least can be cordoned off or put off limits, so the city wouldn't have an objection to an extension.
Okay, so we're going to give you a couple of weeks to any permitting that you need to do that they find, get that taken care of, November 23rd, 2022, and 90 days to complete all the violations. So that'd be February 9th, 2023 to abate all violations. Motion's on order.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dink.
Second.
Second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
You're muted.
Mr. Bradley,
You're muted.
Yes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Good luck, thank you. The other question that I have, the permit guy told me that it may take a month once I turn in the application, and I'm gonna do this.
And that's,
Right.
Once you turn it in,
once you
turn it in, there's a record of it being
Oh,
turned in.
okay,
Yeah,
all right. I
and
have
you can continue to do cleaning,
we will.
Non-regular,
maintenance, repairs, you just can't
The
tackle
garage,
the big
Right.
stuff on the garage.
but as long as you make the application.
no problem.
You're meeting.
I got it here, so
Good luck.
I will do it as soon as possible, and hopefully I'll have this taken
And
care
good luck
of.
to the contractor who fell. Good work.
It's good that he didn't fall off of your roof.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
And it was like 5 days before he had to come to our house.
God bless him.
It was, yeah. So thank you so much. Have a good
Okay.
day. And,
Thank you. We're gonna call the next docket A 14222 1326 West 76th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on September 2nd of 2022. Appeal received September 30th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing. Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Like you're here.
It does, it does. Mr. Chairman, if you could swear in Ms. Davis, I will inquire, or I'm sorry, swear in Mr. Murray, I will inquire of Ms. Davis as to service. Thank you.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Ms. Davis, did the notice of today's public WebEx hearing get returned to the board's file?
To Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Ashton, no.
Thank you. And did you receive any communication on behalf of this docket or this appellant, email, voicemail, fax, etc.?
Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Ashton, no.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Due process notice having been given by the board, the city believes it's proper and appropriate to proceed on this matter. I will note that smoke detectors are cited on this. Thank you. If you could swear, Mr. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, this property is a rental property. There's a rental registration on it. No work has been done.
Okay, sounds like a remand.
No, it's been remand, yes.
Okay, so motion is in order to deny more time and remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. So motion. Okay, motion by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent to them within 2 weeks. Next docket, A 14322 4508 West 150th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on June 9th of 2022. Appeal received July 6th of 2022, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for the hearing, Glenn Murray, Building and Housing, Patricia Ashton, Law. With the appellant or his attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. Mike Ricky, legal counsel for the owner of the property, Samir Mima.
Okay, Mr. Ricky, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Thank you. As a preliminary matter, I have been advised that the cited issues have been abated and was inspected approximately 1 month ago. Unless you suggest otherwise, I'll proceed.
Okay, so what you're saying is that everything's complete?
I have been advised of that, yes, that the inspector came out and inspected approximately 1 month ago and
Okay.
closed the matter, but I'll continue with my statement if you wish.
Okay, let me get over to Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, my records indicate that the property is in full compliance.
All right, we'll give you to today's date then to say that it's violations have been abated. So motion is in order for November 9th, 2022 to abate all violations. Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, you're all set. Your notice will be out in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, our last one was postponed. Is that correct? Last
Docket 13022 is going to be rescheduled.
Rescheduled. Okay. So we're gonna move on with the approval of resolutions. A 10922, 11322, 11422, 11622, 11922, 12122, 12322, 12522, and 12722. Motion?
Motion
So
for
moved.
approval.
Okay, motion by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, approval of the minutes. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No.
Motion is in order.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Maskey.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. There any other business to come before us?
I just have one item, Pat. For those on the call, I sent out an email for our holiday lunch. Carmela, I included everybody that normally participates from the board and the city on the invitation, but can you double check my invites in case I missed somebody?
Okay,
Are these other people waiting?
I sure
Okay.
will.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anything else to come before the board?
No.
Okay, hearing nothing, we will adjourn. Thank you.
Okay, guys, have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. Yep.
Bye.